Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. It's 2023. Are there actually still people who believe in the magic bullet theory? Really? I did not think this was still possible. It's the 60th anniversary, roughly, I think it was a day or two ago, of the assassination of JFK. I personally think it was a Marilyn Monroe fan who wanted revenge who killed him, but that's just my pet theory. I don't actually believe, because like a conspiracy theorist would actually try and convince you that that is real and no, I think it was a Marilyn Monroe fan who killed him. But yeah, there was this ridiculous idea which they sold to the people back in the day because they weren't as savvy as we are today in the sort of, social media and mainstream sort of media sort of landscape that we live in and are just, immersed in. That there was this one person with a gun in a building, the book suppository, whatever it was, depository, did I say suppository? Whatever. That shot him from a distance and that's it. And people just thought that was it. And no one really looked into it. And apparently a lot of, just all this stuff with Hoover moving the body and all this, it's a big mess. Just like Marilyn, there's a bunch of things like this that happened back in the day that got covered up and obscured, and now there's really no way to really work out what really happened with these cases now. But the fact that they're that badly obscured and faffed with, it's not the story that they were going with. But so we know that the bullet couldn't have gone because apparently it went 5 different directions and went in and out, and it's just ridiculous, the magic bullet, because it just flew around, and it's just so ridiculous that these people think, because some people are stupid enough to believe that they can get away with it, but the rest of us aren't. So the people who gaslight and lie and make up all these sort of stories, sometimes I think, do they really believe this? Do they believe in it? Or do they just think that people are stupid enough? Or is it just the game? Is it just, can we fool people into thinking this? I just don't get it. But so apparently there's people who still believe in the magic bullet theory. They still think he was shot by Lee Harvey Oswald, who, I don't know if he did take a shot at him, but he certainly wasn't the only one that day, and he got killed, of course, so what a coincidence there. And God, we don't want to go into Mr. Ruby's business. Oh my God, I've seen a few documentaries on him. What a mess. The whole thing's a mess. But I honestly didn't realise people still believed. I thought, it's like when people believe Marilyn Monroe killed herself. That's because that was the story, that she was depressed and she killed herself. And she couldn't work and her last film was unusable, all this stuff. Then we find out, actually, no, she had a lot of things happening. Oh, she was actually doing really well in the film. We actually finally, someone managed to find all the dailies, and it's like she looked great. She wasn't struggling and slurring her words in a mess. They didn't fire her because of that. Eventually you find out the truth. The truth comes out, and then you realise through all these other things, the autopsy stuff, all that, you realise she didn't die the way they said she did. Now, how she died, no one is really sure, but she certainly didn't just take pills and kill herself. It wasn't that simple. And JFK wasn't just shot by one single guy on his own with a gun with no connection to anyone else. That didn't happen. We all know that. Anyone with any sense and brains knows this. But apparently some people, I guess these are the same people who believe in the tour guide version of, January 6th. It's just, I don't know, are these people truly that stupid and they just want to be led by people? Or do they just want to believe it? They actually know better, but they want to believe it for some ulterior motive? Or I don't know. I saw this, I just had to talk about it because it's just so bizarre and fascinating, and just, I'm discovering a little bit too. There's a few things that, the whole JFK thing is more complicated than I thought it was, and I did a bit of research a few years ago. And at the end of the day, I just feel bad for Jackie. All the stories of her that day are just so tragic. People thought she was trying to get out of the car and escape and leave her husband when she's really trying to retrieve the back of his skull. Like when she kissed his foot when he was lying on the on a gurney or something in the aisle hall, and all that was visible was his foot sticking out from the end of the blanket, and the fact that she wore the dress with the blood on it because she wanted the people who did that to see the blood and see what they did, rather than getting changed and covering it up, and because that's what everyone wanted to do. But the way she acted was, so that's the most interesting part of the whole story for me. But now the most baffling part of the whole story is that people still believe the magic bullet theory. And I've said it 50 times, but I just still can't get my head around the fact people believe that. So I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of magic bullets and so forth. Yeah.